Alright, folks. Welcome back, everyone. 皆さん、お帰りなさい。今日は2級1日目です。It is day 21. We're actually getting into our final week. Right? So we are 6 days, including today, where we're gonna start to enter like a review routine. Still trying to think about what we're gonna do about that at the moment. Nothing. We're kind of in a bit of a hurry yesterday, so nothing sticks out at the moment from our reviews yesterday. Let's get into our grammar. Although yesterday's grammar points are kind of OP. Okay. Nani and okay, Nani and the Nanika and Nanimo situation. Something, nothing, anything, not anything, some kind of, and not any kind of. This meaning of this word will change based on whether the sentence is positive or negative, right? So adverbial particle, specifically focusing on the ka part that's attached to nani. Nanika, nanimo are constructions that are used in Japanese for expressing something, anything, or nothing. The main difference between the two being that nanimo is used with negative phrases. Phrases that are nai. Oh, okay, I see why they were nai or arimasen. While nanika is used in other cases. To use this expression, we simply need to put nanika, nanimo before the desired phrase.
何か食べますか?
何か食べますか? Okay.
冷蔵庫の中には何もないです。
Well, yes. You hate to hear it. There's nothing inside the refrigerator. There are several casual forms of these expressions that are used in speech or in certain dialects. These forms are nanika, nanika, nanka, nanimo, and nanmo. Yeah, fair enough. Finding the almost sounds punchier, you know? Doing it that way. Punchier. Let's see. Okay, I think that's a pretty tame grammar point. Yep, then we got the other one. Someone, somewhere, not anyone, not anywhere, depending on positive or negative. Okay. WH word. Okay. The where, who, you know, where and who. The construction dareka and dokoka are used when you want to ask or answer questions about someone or somewhere. Positive sentence. Alternatively, no one or nowhere based statements are made with daremo and dokomo. Structures like this that use dare were briefly discussed in the dare grammar point. Fair enough.
誰かがいますか? 来月はどこかへ行きますか? 俺の誕生日パーティーには誰も来なかった。
Feels bad, man.
9時だからどこも空いていない。
Interesting. Using dare or doko is not limited to the ka and mo particles. E, ni, or to may also be partnered with ka and mo to give a more specific meaning. Wasn't there one up here already? Oh no, there wasn't. Oh yeah, there was one right here.
休みの日はどこかへ行きましたか?
Right.
誰かに言った?
Yeah, so as opposed to like, it's still kind of just anyone though. I guess ga would be something too.
誰かと電話をしている。 今日はどこへも行かない。明日は誰にも会わない。私は誰にも話す。
Less common than demo. Interesting. As you can see with these examples, ka will always precede any other particle in a positive sentence. However, the opposite is true for mo. Mo will always follow any other particles in negative sentences. This is because ka will always attach directly to the noun when altering the meaning of that noun, but mo alters the whole phrase, not just the noun. Interesting. However, it should be known that mo is not limited to appearing in negative sentences, as we can see with the final example. Yes. Okay. Interesting. That kind of whoosh right by me. Didn't even notice that at the end. Masho. Alright, we're gonna do the volition, the polite volition. This is something that I talked about maybe like 2 days ago. So masho is one of the conjugations of the auxiliary word mas, and it's a common polite way to suggest that something to be done together when used with a verb. It is often translated as let's a or shall we a. To use masho, we will simply need to change mas into masho when conjugating the verb, right?
モールに行きましょう。踊りましょう。
This is kind of like one of the earliest tenses in Duolingo. Despite regularly being translated as shall we a, masho does not specifically target another person and can also be used as a declaration, right? That a will be done or needs to be done. This use reflects the base meaning of masho, which is the polite volition form, deliberately and purposefully doing something. Yeah.
5キロ痩せましょう。
Right. In this example, the speaker is expressing to themselves that they will do something and are strongly resolved to make it happen, similar to I shall, right? Or let's go. Not the let's go in like a celebratory, but let's go as in we shall do this. Yeah. The let's play, the let's eat. There's the let's go. Not like let's go. It's more like let's go somewhere. Okay. All right. Next one. Mashoka. Shall we? Yeah. To top it all off with a question. As covered in our masho lesson, masho is one of the conjugations of the auxiliary verb mas, and it is a common polite way to suggest that something be done together. Adding the particle ka to this expression simply changes the nuance from let's to shall we, and it's more of a direct question than masho by itself. Like masho, this expression can be added to the must stem form of any verb.
レストランまで車で行きましょうか。
Nice.
今夜走りましょうか。
Interesting. At the end of masho, it kind of feels a lot less of an uptone for ka. One thing to note with these examples is that they are suggestions, not invitations. Yep. In Japanese, there's a slight difference between the two, in the same way that there is in English. If you want to invite someone to do something, the most natural way would be to ask masenka, yeah, a phrase that's similar to mashoka.
一緒にイタリアに行きませんか？
Won't you go? Yeah. Won't you go to Italy with me?
一緒にイタリアに行きましょうか。
It's a somewhat very soft ka. So it feels like we're saying shall we, as opposed to asking a question, like an invitation. The difference here is that won't you do a has a stronger nuance of being a direct invitation, yeah. while mashoka is closer to just let's do, right? Suggestion versus a direct question. All right. And then, of course, we have masenka. Won't you, would you not? Why don't we? Okay, masenka or naika, ooh, if it's seen more casually, is an expression that is used. Okay. Is an expression that is used after a verb as an invitation. It's basically translates to won't you do A with me? This expression is a little bit different to mashoka in that it sounds directly like an invitation to do A. Mashoka tends to sound more like a suggestion that A should be done. Whether alone or together is the suggestion.
明日は温泉に行きませんか？来週は釣りをしに行かないか？
It is recommended to use the masenka version as naika would be a bit too casual to use with someone that you are not very close with, which is technically not correct Japanese. Yeah, and it's also technically not correct Japanese. Yeah, I don't think that's it. To make it clear that the speaker wants to do A with someone, expressions like ishoni, right? Ishoni are often added for clarification.
一緒にお祭りへ行きませんか？
Mochiron is the response to that one. Mochiron desu. To examine the difference between mashoka and masenka, let's have a look at how the nuances change in the same type of sentence.
ラーメンを食べに行きましょうか？ラーメンを食べに行きませんか？
Masenka just sen in general, like makes it like already punchy, in my opinion. Every time you're like trying to be a little punchier, masenka just sounds punchier. Here, masenka will come across as an invitation due to the fact that you are asking the person if they wouldn't mind doing A with you. This is the main reason that it is considered a more polite option when inviting someone to do something than mashoka. Right? It's like, are they inviting? Should I invite myself? No, I'm kidding. Okay. It's related to good relation. Masenka is a polite way to extend innovation, similar to when you like to in English, for example. Nanika tabemasen ka? Won't you eat something might be used when politely offering food to a guest. Note that unlike English, the Thai form, do you want to, isn't typically used to invite someone in Japanese. Okay. Nani ka tabetai desu ka? Simply ask if the person wants to eat something. As opposed to like to do things to get something to eat together, right? Okay. Alright, so we have masenka, mashoka, and then another masho for general, and then we have the nanika. Okay, alright, and then the mo and the ka at the end, okay, of interrogators. Alright, sounds good. So they call it interrogative and non-exhaustive.
何か食べる？
Doko. Oh, I just need the particle. I see. And doko mo tamotachi ga iru no desu ka? Iru no desu ka? Doko ni mo masen. Oh, that's the response. Oh, wait. Wait. Hold up. Wait. Am I being a butt? Like this? Oh, it all. Wait. Somewhere. Oh, right. Just kidding.
どこかに友達がいるのですか？どこにもいません。
Yeah, one's positive and one's negative. Illustrating. Although that's interesting that did I? Oh, okay. That's a good notice. I actually didn't notice that. Actually, that the particle is before the mole. Hold. Oh, that is a catch. I did not notice that. This threw me for a loop, but that's good that they included that response, because I would have been lost. Interesting. Oh. Didn't listen to it carefully enough. Okay. Have to keep that in mind. All right. Made me question everything. Light volition.
サッカーをしましょう。
Let's try a different constructing that has a weaker nuance. Oh.
It's
kind of funny because it says, shall we speak in Japanese? But let's say polite interrogative. Okay. So how do they polite interrogative? How do they say, oh, okay. They write it as won't you as opposed to shall we? I mean, kind of. Oh. And then with the with me is probably how they're gonna.
寿司を食べに行きませんか？
Okay. All right. Hey, vocab day. Vocab. 木曜日。木曜日。午後。おととい。おととい。おさって。おさって。I mean, あさって。not おさって。あさって。Can I see あさって without thinking this is unique? No, you still have to think of this as unique. あさって。At most, can give it away in the beginning, but yeah, あさって。Special. Get used to it. Jisho is fine. Wait, is that the same G for no? What up? I need some characters. I need a character detail on the left, please. Resign, word, and term, right? Yes. Term, expression. Anything else? Really? Oh, got kick call, which we have a grammar point for. Specifically for sufficient, satisfactory, enough, fine, alright, okay. The others... maybe adverb? Rather, quite, fairly, surprising, quite... cool. Okay. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream. I can finally see it. Ice cream. Itsumo. Always itsumo. Or never if it's negative. There's also amari. Are we getting amari next? No? Okay. Shumatsu. Oh boy. Hey. What is this blur? Oh, it's not safe for work. What? This is not safe for work? You mean the other stuff were safe for work? Dang. We're not gonna blur that. That's kind of nice. Alright, handle, hard work, trouble, care. Means, yeah, means, trick, move, technique. Handwriting, kind, type, yeah. Ability to cope. That's interesting. Not safe for work blur. Hey. Uwagi. Oh boy, Uwagi. I am not sure about that one. Can I get a oo from that? No. I get uwa? I can't get a uwa there. I can see the gi. Oh, wait. No. I think I do have uwagi. Let's switch on the... Okay. This one could be a little rough, actually. We'll start to write notes in the future. Not now. Adding synonyms. Oh, we can construct interesting ideas. Dochira. Which way, which direction? Out of 2, right? Dochira, out of 2. Which way? Out of 2. Which direction? Out of 2. Where? Out of 2. Who? Between 2 people. Yeah, which one? 2 alternatives. Oh, of 2 alternatives. Ureshi. What were you? Was it key? What were you? You were not. Oh yeah, you were key. Okay. ALPT 1 N1. For the character, not the word. 嬉しい。Okay. Shiroi. Fair enough. Ichiban. We had a grammar point that uses this yesterday. Combined with no nakade. Shinko. Yeah, Shinko. Menu. Actually, menu. Yeah.
メニュー
Chairo. Kiro. Otae son. Alright. Okay. I don't know, there's some questionable ones in there. Oops.
明日は木曜日ですか？
午後3時です。
おとといは大雨でした。
あさっては私の誕生日だ。
家に辞書が3冊ある。
そのビールは結構良い。
Heck. Hang on. Man. Oh, I missed a coup. Whoops. Wait. I mess up when I wrote this. Oh.
アイスクリームは美味しいです。
I wrote re all times.
僕はいつも眠い。
That explains that.
週末に友達と遊ぶ。
手を叩く。
Attack.
あなたの上着はどれですか？
その犬とこの犬、どちらが好きですか？
あなたに会えて嬉しい。
Oops.
私の犬は白いです。
あの子が一番かわいい。
この町の人口は10万人で、10万人です。
レストランのメニューを見る。
この茶色のシャツは誰の？
私は黄色が好きです。
正しい答えを紙に書く。
Okay. Hooray! We did our lessons for today. Alright. 99 reviews. Do our grammar first. 35 grammar points. Wait.
Soccer をしたいです。
Okay.
中華料理の中で何が一番好きですか？
Okay.
2時から始まります。
Okay. Ah.
その映画は長いだけ。
Okay. Alright.
今日の晩ご飯は何にする？
水曜日 permissive ですか? Permissive. Is it fine even? Oops, I forgot the day.
水曜日でもいいですか？
Because of day or day, and then Wednesday is a day, a noun.
タクシーでいいですか？
Oh boy. Gonna say non-pass, standard, emphatic. Then oh, I don't need it, right? So
この寿司は美味しすぎる。
only negation, only negate. Where I'm negating it. Okay. I've been here before. As in before Coco. I think it's still Miami.
前にここに来ました。
Spelled with kana. Interesting.
何時からですかって聞いた。
Extent? Probably 結構。
私は結構です。
カタカナを覚える extent particle 私は寝たい寝ない until would be like we're just gonna do like まで
カタカナを覚えるまで私は寝ない。
今日は寝る in past Negative past polite. しました。No. しませんでした。Heck! Wait. Oh, go home, not Kai.
今日は帰らなかった。今日は帰らなかったです。今日は帰りませんでした。
I was still hooked on the last verb. Yeah, so let's go over. Right, it takes the column, and then you have night, which is not, and then the past is kata for e, and then yeah, this for semi-polite. Okay. But contrastive. Oh. Heck! Can you include oh right, Aki.
秋だけど暖かいです。
Thank you, Bunpro, for reminding me about the noun. Okay. このパーキングガラージもうあなたの会社のですか? Yeah, it's probably referring. 駐車場 Yeah, 駐車場
この駐車場もあなたの会社のですか？
日本語の勉強をエクステンドしました。たくさんね。
日本語の勉強をたくさんしました。
先生が危ないとね。人がかかった。Oops. Or do I need the? No, I don't. Wait, it's a coup. I
先生が危ないと書いた。
Yeah. Hold on. Coup. 待つ。待って。
待って。
Okay. Interrogative non-exhaustive. お茶を
どのお茶を飲みますか？
このお茶を飲みますか? Right, non-exhaustive, so more than 2 E's. Yaku. 約束。I have no bundle. 約束. Yes, I should have. 安く semi-polite. 忘れないなかったです。
約束を忘れなかった。 約束を忘れなかったです。約束を忘れませんでした。
Don't say. これ、okay. これは、これは、what is this? 寒い。まずい。これはまずいって、negative assertive command.
これはまずいって言うな。
言うな。Okay. スポーツをして、article emphasis on cause. Emphasis on cause, you say. And that's した。Let's try a different grammar structure that has a weaker nuance. Because I play sports, I am hot. The other hot. 暑いです。Oh wait, focus on. Wait, I thought. Hold up. I thought cause was. Or was cause the other way? So like, wait, I think I got them backwards. Oh no, wait, no, yeah. So,
スポーツをしたから暑いです。
I went the other direction. I went the right direction. I went with since I played sport. Since I play sports, I am hot. As opposed to kinda went the other direction. Bus. バスケットボール。Contrastive particle. サッカーの方が好き。We're comparing, so
バスケットボールよりサッカーの方が好
バ
き。
スケットボールよりサッカーの方が好き。Alright. 難しいね。難しい。Literary particle contrastive? Wait. Literary particle contrastive. But? Are we butting? That'll be but oh, the literary, so
難しいが楽しい。
I actually heard the ga in like a really old fashioned thing, like a very old period, like a period Japanese character, like someone like way back ancient times, and then they said ga as a but or however, which was interesting. 私が作るすpast standard. Oh no. Oh no. Uh. Oh no, I don't. I don't know. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I got it. Oh, I don't know. Wait, how does uh hold up. Oh, that's what they're looking for. Wait, but how do I? How do I like do that? Okay, we'll write this down. This is pretty bad. It's using like the verbs. How do I say this? Like a verb modified noun. So made, we have oh wait. No, not how that works. So standard, right? So standard uses the and I have forgotten Scooter. Scooter would be the ita, and then I think I need te I past. Oh, actually, do I do conjugate that one? I think I only need, I don't think I need anything else. So it would just be beta. Whoops. Oh. Or it's good to just let's see. The only other thing I can think of is that we treat it as probably we treat it as a ichidan, so which is kind of what I already did. Like, this would be the other. but it's asking for a it's asking for noun, like a modified noun. So why is that not? As standard. It's Scooter Ichidan or Godan? That's a good question. Either or at this point, because neither of them. I'm messing something up on this meaning. Oh no, wait. Yeah, that's why I'm messing up. Or huh. Or oh no, I screwed up. I got it. I think.
私が作った椅子。
Yeah. I kept thinking it's the coup, but it's not. That's okay. It's fine. I was thinking of using Heiru the whole time. I think it would have taken that. Tsukutta Teiru. Possibly. Maybe not. Kono kanji wo still haven't learned. Negative polite. Press it. I'm not sure if that kind of James, I'm not sure if that comes off as how you think it comes off as, but I'm gonna say thanks. I'm not entirely sure if you asking that question and then following up by those comments produce the impression that you might get. But I'm gonna say it's more of a Japanese euphemism there. この漢字を Yeah, not entirely sure. Oh, I guess we got Mada.
「この漢字をまだ習っていません」。
You're just rooting for you when you can't remember. You just look at the answer. It's impressive to be able to recall without further prompts. That's fair, but what I'm saying is I'm not entirely sure that comes off as I don't know if the intent translates to that in English. I'm not sure how often you talk to other people when they're trying to figure things out. Let's see. So mada is the still, right? And then we needed the te form. And then they said negative progressive. So the negative has to be... It's negative progressive in this form, and it has to be polite. Where the order comes... Yeah, there really isn't any other way to write it. What happens if you wrote negative, polite, progressive? What would that say? That's what I'm thinking of it as. Negative, polite, progressive. So those are the actions that I'm doing. So how's that different from negative, progressive, polite? Huh. Interesting. I think of a form of te plus iru as progressive. And then you take the verb, right? It's the te. And then you must take iru into the negative, into the negative and polite, like they're grouped together. The reason why I'm saying this is because when I read negative, progressive, polite, what I would do is I would take the verb and do the negation of the progressive, and the progressive requires the te form, so then I would be more inclined to negate the progressive. Pretty semantics though. Get used to it. ame ga non-exhaustive. Ame ga non-exhaustive. Yan. Yan? Yandari suru ne. Of raining and stopping. Yan. Oh no, I'm what I'm alluding to is I didn't think it was supposed to be rude. I'm just curious if I'm just curious if it ever crossed your mind. Like you've done it before, so I'm kind of used to it already. Like what I mean is the question is, does it ever come across as like a different way? If you ever thought about it, like I didn't take it as rude, or because I thought of something. It's like yatta is what I'm saying. So like I take it as more of a Japaneseism, or like that's the spirit. But it's very uncharacteristic. It's very uncharacteristic. So my thought was, I was just specifically asking you, I was being a little bit subtle about this. Have it came across to you as it could be like really possibly different intent? Ame ga furu non-exhaustive. Why does it say non-exhaustive? Oh, because they want to say not in any particular order. Okay. And I guess, oh, and then Tarisuru kind of just gave it away, right? Oops. How does that work? You just, I guess this would be the verb, right? Oh, you would have to conjugate it to that.
雨が降ったり止んだりするね。
And why is the oh. Okay. Right. I'm sensing a trend here. I think the trend that I'm having a problem with is the notation. So I'm seeing the notation as more like this. Like for me, I'm seeing it more like this than writing it as this. I'm pretty sure they have this written like this, where it is a shorthand that I have to get used to, but oh no, it's written here like this. Oh no, but then it's written like this. Oh, I see. So they kind of written both ways actually. Although I only saw it like this the entire time when they're highlighting. Interesting. Yeah, like this way. This writing kind of throws me off. This is nice. And now we just got to connect these two. And not imagine it as one thing. So like this here is not one thing. It's two things. That's something I'm going to have to get used to. Because it's this. Is the notation that I'm imagining in my head. So like this. And then obviously there's something in between here, but it would be a tilde bracket, like kind of like this, where the verb is tilted. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember whether it's a verb ending, like a stem conjugation, or the word is just dari or tari and dari. And the way I remembered it is because of this right here. I'll think about it. Emphasis on effect. Oh yeah, I screwed this up earlier. Oops. We have
年寄りなので走るのは遅いです。
we have a running, or not running, elderly, and it's elderly as a adjective. No, elderly as an adjective, like a stand adjective. I don't know how to emphasize this. Like not elderly like the act of being elderly, like getting old. The D, okay. The D helps. Or the D, like, it helps in this case, but not really in most cases. It could make it confusing. I wonder how many more, like, I guess me's, like, anoshimi, or like asobi and stuff. Gotta keep those in mind too. Yep, gotta keep those in mind. Kana endings to actually, I'm gonna look this up. Yeah, this is a noun, right? Not an adjective. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to take into account nouns and nouns that take generative cases as well. Interesting. Interrogative, non-exhaustive. Demo. 好きだ. Ne? Which? Oh, non-exhaustive. Which is the opposite of what I'm thinking. So let's try a different structure here. Oh.
どれでも好きだ。
Okay. Hold up. All right. Non-exhaustive. Then when? Okay. Hold up. Oh well, this has to be voted because of how it's structured. But when is it interrogative and exhaustive? Do I have an example of that? I don't know if I have an example of an interrogative exhaustive that is equivalent to dore. Or like, I don't think it's come up yet. Happy. Oh, hey, we just got this vocabulary. I'm genuinely curious if they synced up the vocabulary with the grammar. It's happened. No. It happens more not than it did, so it's probably more coincidental. Ureshi. We just got ureshi as a vocab set. To become happy. Non-past standard. Oh. Oh no. Wait. Do I need to do anything? I don't think I do. Oh, maybe I do. Hold up. So this was yesterday, right? And it's naru. That's an e adjective, so it's gotta be then ureshiku. Ureshiku naru?
嬉しくなる
That was the, and then for the others is ninaru. Okay, that's from yesterday. Tanaka-san wa maishu kuruma o orau. Oh. What is that habit in parentheses? I'm going to wait. What? Washes. I don't understand.
田中さんは毎週車を洗う。田中さんは毎週車を洗います。
I mean, I don't know any additional points with habit. What do they mean by habit? Oh, stating general fact. Okay. Yeah, because there's no... there is a time. That's why it's habit. I see. If it didn't state a time, it would be a general factor. I see. I remember this. So this is indicating, because they would also state general fact if this part is missing. So if you don't include this, it would be a general fact as opposed to a habit. Okay. Fair enough. Not sufficient to mess up the what to do, but it is sufficient to miss a point. Oishii restaurant wa interrogative desu ka? Interrogative what? Oh, where? Okay. Is there any...
美味しいレストランはどこですか？
Don't count my laurels. このセールは金曜日パークrestrictive です。It's probably までね。
このセールは金曜日までです。
までです。Okay. 毎週コーヒーはどのパーティクルを読むぐらい。
毎週コーヒーはどのくらい飲む？
That's fine. Either. Alright. That was pretty pleasant outside of the one. So, what is my problem? It wasn't related to the grammar points. It was related to sku. And skuru being a do verb, or being a do go down verb, right? Not a do verb. That's why I don't like writing things as do or verb or go down. It's a do verb, which is a go down. I'm not the biggest fan on thinking about verbs that end in u or end in ru, but more like verbs that are godan or ichidan, and then godan has godan verbs end with ru is a conjugation. We'll cross that bridge. We'll add it. All right, so vocabulary. 104. Did this just increase as we were waiting? Yeah, it did. We're at 10 p.m. now. All right. Okay. What type of yes are we looking for? Regular yes? There's soul des.
お客さん、こんにちは。武田さんのお宅ですか？
Taku.
武田さん。はい、そうです。
Not to be confused with otaku, but otaku as in someone's house. Otaku. Honorific taku.
私の好きな色は緑です。
この冷蔵庫は小さいです。
Oops.
それは子供用の切符です。
Man, you know what I really want to look for now? Actually, is there a different form of input? Or output, I mean? Fill in, reverse, translate, reveal, and grade. I've still yet to find one with a writing input. Maybe we'll go and explore that in the future.
父は病院で働いています。
Vacaciones, obviously.
あなたの休みはいつですか？
Vacaciones wa yasumi. Yasumi to. Or vacaciones to wa yasumi? Hmm.
医者が患者に、あなたは運動不足なので週に2回は散歩をしてください。
It's nice reading the sentences. Otherwise, walk could have been anything. Yeah, man. I just realized if we kept going with just target words, that's interesting. Okay. Think about that next time. Pass.
先月は何月でしたか？
Ended would be that's right, to end. End is not sticking. Can I imagine the kanji? Definitely a verb. Oh.
授業が終わったのは10分くらい前だ。
I was looking for owaru. I don't know which one they want. We're gonna go with pasokon. Heck you. Alright.
コンピューターを使う。
Computer. Oh, wait. Do they always type computer instead of PC? I actually don't know. That's a verb. So
朝からずっと雨がザーザーと降っている。
gotta review all the plain forms in my head. Whoops.
今日は夏だけど涼しいです。
Adjective.
雪が降りすぎているのでスキーをするのをやめましょ
う。料理教室の先生、ゴムベラでゆっくり混ぜてください。
Man, it took less than a month to adjust. You're just reading along as your standard practice.
1月になった。
朝にシャワーを浴びる。
Even doing the conjugations as it's happening was nice. Slightly less stronger. Come on, it says
私は
hate.
虫が嫌いだ。
その鳥は飛ぶことより歩くことの方が上手だ。
Nice. I'm not sure we have the... Yeah, we do. Yeah, so we got the Yori, right? Yori no Ho got here.
先生、南の反対の方角は生徒。北です。
砂糖は甘いです。
私の娘は飛行機が大好きだ。
明日旅行に行きます。
Word?
ビデオを撮る。
友達とカラオケに行く。
I'm so ready to play another video game soon, actually. Oh. Why is there an O there? Like,
今日のお昼は何？
that was the most common thing I can think of that could use an honorific. Anata wa nani? Well, yakimasu ka? Or yakimasu ka? Not yakimaku. What are my choices for doing well? Probably this one would be... Ugh. Can you place both of them in the same place? Probably not. Oops.
あなたは何を上手にできますか？
So what would happen if I did... It would change to particle, would it? No, it wouldn't. Oh, it would change to conjugation and then remove the particle. Yeah, you would have to conjugate it, and then ni would not be in it. For amai. Because then it would be skillfully. I mean, that in the English is what can you do well, what can you do skillfully is still well, but okay.
このベッドは私と弟のものです。
私は日本に住む前にアメリカに住んでいました。
Because the mine using the plain form.
デートに誘う。来週一緒にご飯を食べませんか？
このトンネルは狭いです。
料理は才能じゃない、努力だ。
まだ昼ご飯を食べていません。
That's another grammar point today.
歌を歌う。
母が洗濯をする。
I'm only citing the more recent grammar points, the ones that require conjugation. I mean, all of it is grammar points, technically. Right? Let's see. We have possession, right? Possession, topic marker, possession, topic marker, direct object or subject marker, nominalization of the entire phrase, right? And then we have e adjective requiring a copula of yes. Oh, good at? Wait. Oh, I typed the wrong thing. Wait, no, I didn't. Yes? Huh. Am I tripping? I think I might have. Oh, no, I typed the wrong thing. I typed it wrong. Umai.
私の母はピアノを弾くのがうまいです。
Yeah. Now let's see. Right. Then de as a means of, and then is still in the process of doing something, so niku. Or like going to do something is what this phrase is. Niku. And then in the middle it would be
車で買い物に行く。
This is actually kind of special though. As well. Particular for shopping. And then we have kore. Kore is a grammar point.
これはタクシーです。
We are almost ready. By March, we'll be doing sentence diagramming. I don't know if I'm gonna do sentence diagramming for everything. We gotta do it for like very specific ones. I need a selection factor for deciding when I'm gonna sentence diagram. As an exercise. Oh, I didn't realize that's how you get pencil box. Futebako. Futebako. Or futebako. Futebako. Interesting. Mm.
筆箱に鉛筆が5本ある。
Didn't do counters yet. I don't know if counters are grammar points or not. Didn't do counters yet. Did aru for existence of inanimate objects. That's one. And then ni for position or destination. So it's a location as opposed to the path. Aches. Oops. My T didn't work. Ah! Ah! My T!
心が痛いです。
I already covered all those.
馬は野菜を食べます。
Covered all those. Hmm.
朝の9時から午後の3時までバイトをする。
And then we have the made grammar point. There's a sudo point there. There's a kara. Although kara and made grammar point hasn't come up. I'm not sure if they're going to keep it as separate, but kara to made, so from something to something. That's not a grammar point yet. See anything. Telling time. I'm not sure if telling time is a grammar point.
この文の意味がわかりません。
Nothing there.
格闘技をしたせいで歯が2本も折れてしまった。
They say that I'm not no grammar point for that yet. Everything else is fine. Past tense, casual, or plain, or standard past, or irregular. Suru.
僕は毎週ジムで運動をするつもりだ。
Tsumori not covered yet.
「娘と映画を見たり料理をしたりする。
There's the tari. So tari is, how do they describe it? Non-exhaustive. Non-exhaustive, like, I've got the other word, but list. It's like a, you know, list of things. Maybe they might have used the word progressive in a way. Remember? I might have typed the wrong thing actually.
パートナーと結婚をしてから3年くらいが経った。
We have the kurai. Kurai. This is the grammar point for kurai. Okay. Oh, this is so
ダイエ
good.
ット中だけど晩ご飯をしっかり食べたいです。
Shikari. We got the kedo, right? Got the kedo grammar point there. Oh, shikari. Shikari is a lot. Don't know. But it does function. Yeah, it's just modifying this. Which you can place like, there might be a grammar point for that because Aksan could end up there too. Probably. Fog? The heck? Fog? Urasu no some fog. Oh, nuku? Oh, fuku? No, fuku, not nuku. Fuku. Fog. Like wet? Clouded? Fog. I have no idea what type of, like, okay, so glass fog. What could glass fog? Maybe something dealing with wet. No, wait. To wipe the fog on the no. Oh, it could be cloudy. Like things are cloudy, so it's probably kumori.
ガラスの曇りを吹く。
Fog. Interesting. Alright. It's not as bad as Owari, so we're okay. Doshite. I'll forever remember Doshite because of drama's incessant thing made a trivialization of me saying naze. そして、right. そして毎日お金をね? What does that? Muta? Reckless. 無駄に使うのでのですかの無駄Big. Why does I seen that before? I almost feel like that reminds me of like foolish or lacking awareness. I can kind of see it. Not awareness. Sorry, not awareness. Where have I seen big horse? Sorry, not dog. Big horse. Where have I seen big horse? Or not big horse, but very horse or significant horse. Asa? Oh no. This is just saying go.
今おはようって言ったのは誰?
We got the dare point. And then we got the casual quotation point, followed by verbs that associate with quotations. Right, that's good. Oops, I forgot the ending.
看板。危険。この橋を渡るな。
This is the please don't or assertive command. Assertive command. There's also the kono hashi grammar point. And then we have the dore grammar point here.
教室で。あなたの机はどれですか?
Is there a grammar point for anata? I'm not entirely sure actually. And then you can't really know between daikirai
私はお酒が大嫌いだ。
or kirai because they use the word hate for both. I guess maybe the subject matter would be the way to determine the extent of hate. 太陽はね、太陽、東から、昇ると書いた。
先生が太陽は東から昇ると言っていた。
Oh, actually kind of pitch accent.
今は体重が少ないので、もう少し太るつもりです。
So we got node. Node is the effect. Wait, it's the emphasis on the effect. Right, so I intend to gain a little bit more weight is the effect. And then I'm currently underweight versus like kara, which is since I'm currently underweight, I intend to gain a little more weight.
風が弱い。
That's fine. This one's actually a special one. I'm not sure if they're gonna cover this as a grammar point.
寝る前にお風呂に入った方がいいです。
Which is the idea of going into something using haidu and haidu in general. Maybe contrasted with noru. And maybe like something like oboeru or yeah, not oboeru, sorry, oboru.
「レストランで彼氏が彼女にどのメニューにする？
Grammar point on dono versus dore in those situations.
私の国にはたくさんの面白い文化があります。
We have taksan, which is a separate grammar point. The casual form. All right,
あなた
so
の家に風呂はありますか？
wait, so now how do I know if this is going to be casual versus non-casual? Probably not. We just try both of them. I guess that person is talking to someone and it's kind of a private question. Oh boy. Okay. There's also uchi. We still got uchi and ie as well, which is kind of hard with one sentence.
"質問にはいと答える。
Yep. Back to our quoting, and kotaeru is one of the verbs following quotation.
父の車に乗る。
I feel like there might be a grammar point for noru in the future versus hairu or something like that. Oh, heckin. Heckin.
あなたは今ダイエットをしていますか？
Diet. This is progressive. Yeah, progressive. Polite, progressive. And question.
僕が悪い点数を取ったので父が怒った。
たので one is I mean it says there in English but Anna
今は秋です。
Which one are we looking at? Probably how? Probably like quantification. So it's not simply kurai, it's dono kurai.
そのテストはどのくらい難しいの？
I imagine there's gonna be grammar point about that. Maybe. It kind of makes sense with those two together. I would be very hesitant and say kurai would be okay, but don't know.
夜ご飯を食べる前にお風呂に入りたいです。
Maini is a grammar point, which then requires the plain form. And it doesn't require a nominalizer, now that I think about it. For the phrase, I eat dinner at night. It doesn't look like it's there for the... And then we have Thai, who want the Thai phone. Oh, Kuda. Heck.
Cooler をつける。
I thought that said turn off the AC, not turn on the AC. To my destination. Oh, this is not the destination for grammar.
行きの電車に乗る。
Get? 子供が親に病気に get ならないで right ならないで is not a grammar point that come by yet, but it is involving in please don't whatever. So ないで and then kudasai makes it even nicer for please, like it softens it. But get with the ra? Yoki ni. Usually I think of hiku with kaze. Probably nara, so naranai de kudasai.
子供が親に病気にならないでください。
Which one is which one? Let's see. Keiki-san. No, what? Wait. I read that totally confused. Keikiya-san. Oh, that's right. Yes, I understand. Yeah, using the honorific for the bakery. Yeah, Keikiya-san de. Right. That's not a grammar point, I don't think. Guess we're gonna do like, do we have a choice? Okay, bigger option. Okay.
ケーキ屋さんで父が息子にどれがいい
Oh, you can choose
3
3.
個選んでね
They said literally you can choose 3. I wasn't reading. I didn't read the rest. Fair enough.
靴を履く
MAKU. Don't know if there's gonna be a grammar point about all the different wears. Not sure. It's always an interesting discussion. The different types of wares. Nashi, right? Nashikomi, nashi? Oh, keshi. Dang it. Ke. I'm thinking of a different not, like not needed, not existing, or removing or disappearing. Kishikomi de D. Race. Erase is... What type of erase do we have? To make disappear? So we could use that same one. We could use... maybe like... throw away? No, that's... How do we wipe? Maybe it's wipe? No, I'm pretty sure we had this character, right? That's definitely the character we're looking for. Which is... this, like...
消しゴムで字を消す
Kesu. Yeah. And then keshi is a form of kesu. Or I consider it as a form. It's like tanoshimu versus tanoshimi situation. Cookieを作る?
クッキーを作る
Good. I was asking you like a question. Okay, we're back to the meeting thing. Which meeting did they use? I feel like they used... kaiki.
上司に質問をする会議でここを使ってもいいですか
And before all the other ones start. This is Hajimaru.
テレビが始まる
The show is intrinsically starting. There was a grammar point about... I think there might have been a grammar point already separating intransitive and transitive properties, but I don't know in what context it was. 友達その T シャツが T シャツかわいい Oh right, because they're saying so you can remove, you can drop articles, right? I mean not drop articles, drop particles. I'm starting to think of particles as articles because in English you can drop the articles and it still makes sense too. Or even drop helping verbs for that matter. T-shirt, cute. If you were speaking with my parents in English, they would drop demonstratives, pronouns, and helping verbs and articles, and the English phrase would still be okay. Right? T-shirt, cute, wear by. That's it. That's all you need. That's how you get it. T-shirt, cute, wear by. That's basically how a Japanese feels like when you don't know any of the particles or the relationships. You simply see T-shirts, kawaii, and then possibly kau out of this. And then you put it together with the context and you know what they mean. Like if you have like the person there or you're standing somewhere, then you just put it all together. That's how my parents get by with English. Like sono sometimes, but instead of saying sono, they just point to it. It's like that. T-shirts. Cute. Bye. Or bye? It works, like English works that way. So like throw, like not, right? Not is something that's in Chinese. So not throw garbage places. Not throw garbage places. Good enough. Obviously public would be a little bit more advanced because of the adjective. But if you not throw garbage in any place, it's fine. So not throw garbage place. Which in Japanese, what would you got? You got garbage, gomi. You can get public, possibly public off this. Tokyo, and then basho. And then the act would be disappeared. It would disappear. That would be kind of tough. Because I don't have throw in yet. No. So, 捨て。
ゴミを公共の場所に捨ててはいけません。
Then we have ではいません。ではいけません。ではいけません is a... I'm pretty sure that's a grammar point. Along with like ではありません。As well as ではいりません。Probably. A polite form of do not. Like, do not related things. You should not join. 珍しい. That's... No. 怪しい. Oh. Strange. I see. Yeah, 怪しい. 怪しい religion. 宗教には join ends with a ra, and then ない with the conjugation, and 方がいいでしょ. Oh, がいい and it's a separate point as well. And then yo is a point. 方がいい. I don't know if 方がいい has been put together yet. There's also もがいい, the adjacent note. Join. How do you, what do we use, what can we use to join? Like 払い? Yeah, so 入る will come up. 貼らない yeah, probably.
怪しい宗教には入らない方がいいですよ。
入らない方がいいでしょ。 Okay. So we have 母の誕生日は next month です。Okay. Next month. I get to this. ね？
母の誕生日は来月です。
夏休みが始まる前に already 夏休みの宿題が終わりました。 Okay. My M doesn't work. Oh. Oh.
夏休みが始まる前にもう夏休みの宿題が終わりました。
Mo is a grammar point too. We got Mo grammar point. Covering all the grammar points right now. On anyone, nothing new here.
彼女はアメリカ出身だ。
Sushin, no.
新幹線に乗る。
Right. Noru, this is what I mean. There might be a grammar point on noru because of the particle ni for noru. And like contrasting with something like hairu. Like to get on something or go for a ride. Like getting into something and getting out of something. There's got to be a couple grammar points. And it would deal with noru and things that deal with hairu, where you're going into something and then leaving something as a form of going for a ride or taking something or getting on something. Chichi ga egao ne? Me? That's the other me, right? Minakara ne? Yeah, minakara watching movies me, as opposed to the me, the other me, which is actually just the right character. Crying?
父が映画を見ながら泣いています。
Progressive, light. Heck! This is more similar to know of. Is there another word closer to understand? Okay, fine.
答えがわかる。
I think when someone says I know the answer, I immediately think they mean shiru, not wakaru. Is my Japanese spin on this. Whenever like someone says in English I know the answer, is shiru. I rarely I would follow up with a question and determine if they, wakarimashita, right? Or is it more like a shiranai versus, I mean, sometimes it's more like they don't care. Wakarimasen deshita. We got Mizumi. この湖で泳ぐのは危ないです。危険です can work too. I guess we're just gonna flip the yeah, 危ない is e adjective, so well, I guess.
看板。
Okay.
この湖で泳ぐのは危ないです。やめてください。
危険 is a non adjective, so des there would still be fine. This is really fun. I think this is how I'm gonna do it for now, for like the next month until March, where we're taking the opportunity during our vocabulary sessions to go over like bootstrapping grammar points. It's really nice to be able to pick these up as quickly as possible. Just highlight something about the sentence that stick out, right? Niku, that's to go, right? To go to somewhere is a grammar point.
Second hand shop へ古い本を売りに行く。
So it's like the ri, it's the e plus niku is the grammar point. So it's the mas form. They call it the mas form column, which is the E column. So the must form plus ni iku is the grammar point. Was there a point about... No, I don't think there was a point about successive adjectives. Like successive adjectives without a no. Without using no. Not yet, anyways.
来年は何をしたいですか？
Nani, this is a grammar point. Nani. And then shitai desu ka? Oh, you know what? They just make that comparison today as a relationship. In between invitation, right? Invitation or suggestion, right? This is neither that type of suggestion or the invitation from today. This is asking whether the person wants to do something, like they themselves want to do something, as opposed to like a suggestion to do something together, sho, masho, and then masen to ask, to offer them to do, right? With you. Okay.
雪が降っているので一緒に雪合戦をしましょう。
We still got node, which affects its emphasis is on the effect. I need to work on this. This node and kara I need to work on for sure. I keep thinking of them in the opposite direction. So kara would be since it's snowing. Since it's snowing, let's have a snowball fight. And then node is it's snowing, so let's have a snowball fight. And masho, this would be the new grammar point. Masho. So shimasho. Masho. So let's go and have a snowball fight as a suggestion, but a very ecstatic suggestion. Okay.
西の方へ行く。
And e is a grammar point. The direction. And it's also coupled with ni iku and e iku. It's the same grammar point, but two different points on the same card, or the same like grouping, I think.
明日は日曜日です。
That's fine.
広瀬さんですか？いいえ、違います。
I doubt they're going to go over nuances, not sure yet, on ie, like saying just that or shortening it to ie, or having something must accompany ie in terms of like saying things. That's why this says ie, right? 違います, right? I don't know, they're gonna do something like that. I think those are like informal colloquial stuff, so technically not, I don't think technically part of the N5 curriculum.
この飴は甘いです。
Yeah, I typed amai instead of umai for good. I was thinking of something sweet, not correct.
この花はチューリップです。
Tulip. Okay. How does this work? 彼女が or 彼氏が彼女にねえ、僕が愛してるのは君 only だよ。I guess we could do like
彼氏が彼女に、僕が愛しているのは君だけだよ。
だけ is a grammar point. Okay. Oops. I've got the
去
other
年は
part.
2020年である。
I don't think they covered this point yet. This grammar point. Why it's de aru for this phrase, like the time phrase. I don't know they're going to though.
私は豚肉が大好きだ。
Daisuki is na. Oh my gosh, my M.
美味しそうなご飯を見て、美味しそう。いただきます。
Didn't cover the grammar point for so at the end. There might have been a chance when they did daro. But I don't think so. Like so as an ending, or kind of like emphasis, right? Like a punch thing. But I don't know for sure the nuances of those things. So that's still something that's here. And then I'm not sure if they're gonna go over itadakimasu and other sayings like welcome, hello, good morning, and all those separate colloquialisms.
合コン、女性が男性に私と乾杯をしませんか。
To grammar point for to do something with someone, right? So to. Okay, that's an interesting way to express would you do something with me without saying masen, using masenka or masho for suggestion or invitation. And then they did cite ishoni, or ishoni, but that is another thing too. More like in the third person though. That was more third person.
純、どのくらいの頻度でカラオケに行くの？ななみ。時々。
We have kurai as in an amount. And then dono kurai actually. Our vocabulary.
僕の息子はお菓子も野菜もよく食べます。
It's a toss-up to talk about amai or ama versus okashi. But I think for the most part, okashi ends up being a noun and amai an adjective, right? But I could kind of see a situation where you might have like colloquialism or something like that. Oh, wrong type of thick.
この木はとても太いです。
Yeah, we're talking about thick, not dense or not dense or hard. So like this says この木はとても太いです。太いです as in thick, as in the tree is girthy. But you could also say 厚いです because the tree is hard. You know, like hard, thick. Or dense. But that wouldn't be a typical way of... But I think of dense things. Like a tree is hard. Oh no, okay. Oh, this is... Speaking of... 一緒に... Oh.
このプロジェクトは苦手な後輩と一緒にやらなくてはいけない。
やらなくて、やらなくて、ではいけない。That is kind of hard. So, やらなく is like a conjure, like not like really sort of situation, but I don't know how that works with the ではいけない. That's probably やらなくてはいけない, which is not like it is not really sort of situation. The rest is fine.
私は冬が大好きです。
And then daisuki is actually a grammar point, interestingly enough. Okie dokie, that was very fun. Got a chance to see and rehearse. So what, we have 5 days left for our N5 group. Then we're gonna switch over to messing around some. We'll continue doing our vocabulary, right? Our vocabulary is all the way to the end of to the beginning of March. So we're just gonna continue reviewing, gathering more of our vocabulary, and everything will be synced up in March. So we're gonna practice messing around with grammar, which is basically reading vocabulary sentences, which is what I'm doing already, and we're breaking down all the grammar points and then using that as the active recall of the grammar. So as opposed to like I know James mentioned this a couple of times, where you can take like the grammar box and you can read the example sentences on the bottom. So instead of reading the grammar sentences in the bottom for those particular grammar, since I'm doing vocabulary, I'm doing the vocabulary and the sentence at the same time with the grammar section. So like with the grammar recall. So instead of looking for the grammar points, I'm doing a recall, and then if the active recall fails, I'm going to go look back to the grammar section for the month of the end of January across February and then into March. March is when we start our N4. March is when we start our N4 group. And N4 group is going to be extended for 2 months because we're going to do 3 grammar lessons at the same time at per day, which is then spread the 178 across 2 months. And then we'll take 1 month off. And then this one is it will be across 2 months again, but we're doing 4 probably each week. And then the 3rd month, I have another project. It will be October by then. So every month, every like leap month is another project that's happening. So I can't keep piling on to the grammar while doing that. Vocabulary is a different story. Vocabulary is separated by double the volume per day, because at 20 a day, it would still take twice the amount of time to accomplish the same distance as the grammar. So we're going to keep doing vocabulary across the 2 months. And once March rolls around, we start our N4 group and the N4 group in vocabulary. And I can juggle vocabulary because we can go as fast or as slow as I would like, largely because a substantial amount of the vocabulary is review, maybe probably up until like N3-ish, because we have to remember that whatever I've been doing, it's minimum vocabulary. Basically, they're picking a couple of vocabulary words that are tied to the characters. That doesn't mean that it covers vocabulary words in general. So these numbers look like they are much larger. Like, let me see what my vocabulary... Yeah, so already if you take all of N3 to N5, that's more vocabulary than I know almost more vocabulary than I know from Wanikani. But Wanikani, what they do is they spread it out across these, and they introduce like one or two related words with the characters, not the other way around, where the vocabulary is supposed to give you the idea of what the characters mean. So the other way around. So this is way bigger. I think by the end of, I'm not entirely sure how much of these vocabulary words that Wanikani, it's definitely not all of N1, because not all of N1's characters are even covered in Wanikani. Not yet anyway, even though they're adding some, so that's kind of neat. It's not necessary. What they argue is it's not necessary because you'll be moving on beyond Wanikani by then, right? You have enough bases and foundations with basically coverage of these that you can explore N1 all you want. So that's kind of the idea right now. That is the current plan, a way to negotiate. I don't think it is wise for me personally to get an exposure of the N5, even though most of it is review, without practicing it. So I'm gonna spend whichever one comes first. This is gonna end before January because I will still have like 5 days left, 4 or 5 days left in January, and all of February we're gonna not be learning new grammar points. We're gonna be practicing them, and there are various ways to practice. It will give us an opportunity to squeeze in kaijugation and like use the cram feature, and then we might be able to use the JLPT practice exam like test thing at the end of February when our vocabulary concludes and we have practiced our N5 grammar. So by that time it will happen probably, and we can use the reading practice to break down and sentence diagram every once in a while. I haven't decided, well, like we haven't tested any of these things, so it would be an opportunity. So February and the end of January will be the opportunity to see how we can practice, because this is what that word means. And I really appreciate that Bunpro does it this way. Although technically review would be lumped in with practice, but I kind of like how they sorted this out, right? Here's the content. Content is more prone to be learned. And then once the content is learned, you either review it or practice it. Technically, review and practice are the same acts. So for me personally, I emphasize active practicing. You have to, without active practicing, you do not complete the cycle, at least in my opinion. So like whenever someone says, oh, you don't have to worry about it, you can just input all the time and you don't have to worry about ever wondering, just trust the process, right? Trust the process. I'm like, that's good. If you believe that you don't do any output whatsoever to garner feedback with yourself, since you're self-studying. If you're not self-studying, then that's fine. Feedback will come to you. But without this, it doesn't go back to input. So I complete the cycle. I try to complete the cycle as much as I can. So when input is incredibly high in the beginning, I would also slow down and adjust and make my output provide enough feedback to know that the input is good to go, right? And since this is sorted out such a convenient way with projected data, I can use it to map out when my schedule is like, and then match my schedule. So that's kind of what we're doing. And overall, the reason why one of the major reasons why I'm breaking up my timing on this is because I do want to use the other features, right? I don't try to rush into things and like, oh, hey, let's try this and try this and try this and try everything all at once. I typically try something, look at what I can do with it, then integrate more things, look at what I can do with it, and then slowly, methodically go through all of the things and explore them as I'm going. So no hurry in any way. Like, I understand at a glance there are a lot of things and no hurry. And then we can create a user-created deck. And I have an idea for that, which means that technically Bunpro fills a gap that Hanzahiro also has that I was looking for, that was originally planned for Anki. So now I'm gonna have to think about what I'm going to do if I'm gonna, like, weave in Anki usage, because what Wanikani does not have is to create a deck, right? And my deck can be consolidated and integrated with all the time that I have invested in Bunpro. So the idea is, during my deck time and my reviewing time, a lot of the Wanikani information, it's going to be lifted in shorthand from my interpretation and modifications into Bunpro. So then Bunpro represents, and all the antonyms and associations and stuff is lifted from Duolingo. So now Duolingo and Wanikani will exist in Bunpro. And then when I use Wanikani, I'm still actively recalling what I get from Bunpro and Duolingo. And I still have yet to finish Duolingo, actually, because Duolingo's courses keep getting longer. So we still have to go back at some point, and then to critique the rest of Duolingo when everything is said and done, because it's going to be a really interesting exercise to see what is missing and what isn't missing through a different lens. Because both Bunpros, I mean, when I stopped Duolingo, it was during a period where the Chinese course ended and they were paired up. So now the Chinese course is twice as long as it was before. So we got to go back and revisit and update our impressions of things. I also take it as a personal integrity to stay up to date. Otherwise, the comments I make, I provide a disclaimer, right? It's about time. When was the last time you used it? When someone comes by and they ask me, they tell me something, a hot take, and I'm like, so how long have you been using it? When was the last time you used it? And immediately someone would say, oh, I used it 4 years ago for 15 minutes and I got bored right away. It's like, how do you even remember what you felt like 14 years ago accurately? And you only used it for 15 minutes. And how do you know that the 4 years ago is not the same as the current state of things? But that person would have no problem saying it's probably still the same because that's what they want to believe. And that is actually a very classic response most of the time. They don't believe people change. They don't believe companies change. They don't believe like things when it's true and it's set in stone, it can never be like rectified or updated. That to me is ironic because it would be coming from someone who believes they're learning something. And when you're learning something, you're updating your existing things. I feel like I would have a very strong problem or apprehension when I talk to someone whose opinions do not change with new data, who do not change over time because they've learned more things and discovered themselves more. I understand when someone says people don't change. That's assuming the totality of someone is understood. I totally can agree with the idea that someone doesn't change because they understand themselves to the best of their ability. It's different when someone refuses to discover things about themselves because they don't learn and seek achieving potential. So if you cap yourself in your potential, then you have the capacity to change because you're not necessarily changing. You're trying to achieve your potential that was always there. So you can make an argument still that people don't change, but they also don't operate at their potential most of the time. So that change is coming from achieving the potential that wasn't realized, which is seen as a change in a person, not the person in its totality. So if you're a really alert person who's recognized, who believe that they are their potential, then yeah, you have no capacity to change, basically, right? And if it's absolutely true, then yeah, you don't expect it to change at all. Like, for example, people get old. That's not going to change. The mortality is not going to change. The how old someone gets, how long they're going to live, may change based on how much potential they realize. You know, some people die at 60, some people die at 80, right? And it can be due to the realization of your knowledge and actions. So that's kind of my trying to be fair to everyone. Like, I agree with you. There are properties of human things that do not change. Like, your height is constitutively negligible unless you suddenly lose your legs or something. Your height is fairly negligently changing. It still changes, actually, for the record. People do get shorter progressively depending on their choices in their lives. So, for the record, you know, spinal compression and posture does affect the perceived height. Nevertheless, it's interesting. Where was I? I was like digressing all over the place. Anyways, I'm excited. When we end the N5 thing, that means we're switching it up, right? It's been close to a month. And when I get to close to a month, I reform. So I do like something else that's related to the task, bring the task up to snuff, change up my routine a little bit, but keep the core aspect intact. So at the end of every month, I go through this, and it's fairly rapid in the beginning. It's less rapid in the end. So Wanikani is past its honeymoon phase. So the next like 6 months will look relatively the same. I'm already preparing the 400-day review, right? That's going to happen next month for both Wanikani and Hanzahiro. And it's going to be fairly like a refinement. It's going to be not that much change. Hanzahiro has more of a change because I haven't added anything to Hanzahiro. So like what I mean is there isn't a companion thing with Hanzahiro. We're kind of trying to taking it a little bit slower. Something might get added later down the road. But this one, Bunpro, we're getting close to a month now, and I kind of have what I think I'm going to do for the next 70 days, right? Before I'm not sure if I'm going to split it up into 70 days or more like whenever the periods are up. So for example, the first Bunpro review would be like N5 review, which would be at the end of February when I practiced it sufficiently and we concluded our vocab N5 and grammar N5, and then evaluate and change up how we're going to adjust it for N4 and N4 grammar. It's probably what I'm going to do, as opposed to like counting to day 100. Because Wanikani there's no segregation, right? There's not like a opportune moment to stop in certain places. And also I was only doing like Wanikani and Hanzahiro at the time. So that's kind of some stuff going on in my head that is going to be fun to plan around. 2026, is it 2026? It's 2026, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, 2026 is starting out with quite a lot. I am quite exhausted too. In the background there has been a lot of things going on. Not personally, I'm healthy and happy and all that stuff, but there's a lot more that's demanding my time in the background. So I've been getting later and later, and it's kind of sort of potentially taking a toll on my stamina. So we're gonna keep a close eye and try not to hit it too hard. Last year I hit it really hard and I was like, whoop, we're scaling back in the halfway point. Like somewhere in the half year, like around March and April, I'm like, whoa, we gotta slow down a little. So lesson learned, we've crossed our threshold. Anyways, what are the two things? The two things from today that was gotta write the two things from today that was sketchy at best. We got skuru. Right? Scoot. And skuru, we got the ru, right? And it was requiring us to create the progressive, a light. So skuru, this would then be he, right? Then we have was it? Yeah. And then negative, maybe? I'm just making this up. Imasen. Right, something like that. Where we're trying to, I was trying to take, oh no, it wasn't. It's not this. I think it was just past tense. Past tense standard. Possibly. It's one of the things. So the idea is like godan ru, right? Godan ru. And then owaru. Owaru. Oh no. I can't recall writing owaru. I think winter was in it, right? Silk and winters. So waru to end, or really to finish, complete. I usually say end because of fuyu. The winter has end in it. Winter is an end. It's kind of how I get to there. All right, that's a wrap for Bunpro today. Not bad, not bad. I am excited to hit that kaijugation stuff and cram and looking at timed things. We have 4 days left, right? 4 days left before we start some shenanigans. 5 days, sorry, 5 days left. It would be like, there's like 2 left over. It's kind of weird. So we'll do 4 days, right? The next 3 days is 5 each, and then there's 7 left over. So we're gonna do all 7 too, instead of doing like a half weird day or something like that. We'll do 7 lessons. Then we start practicing. I feel like it's worth mentioning. Practicing is easily one of my skills, my skill sets. Consistency is my skill set. Habit formation is my specialized skill set. I am very excellent at doing things consistently, rewarding, and delay gratification. Instant gratification does not give me any pleasure. Rushing things, constantly like jumping the gun and trying to get a hyper mass engagement and stuff, those things are not what I specialize in. I specialize in how to maintain a habit and stagger them across a very long period. So like if I need to work on 7 skills simultaneously, establishing habits to juggle all 7 on across like a year or 2 years time, that's what I specialize in. I do not which ironically would be a generalization. Like the skills themselves would be generalizable, but the specialization is how do you improve various areas in your life and skills simultaneously. If everything's crumbling apart and you need to know like 4 or 5 different things, how do you negotiate that consistently without feeling like you're grinding every moment of your life? That is typically what I would do. Like, that's the most exciting part. It's the part where I get to like really explore and mess around. Short-term stuff, they're kind of nice. They give you a kick sometimes, you know. Watching a movie for the sake of watching a movie is a kick that lasts for 2 hours and then maybe like a couple days after. Watching a movie for the sake of studying the movie to be related to all the movies that you've seen before and the movies that you're going to see in the future, that's kind of what I do. So I study things for academic purposes of keeping them along with me. I don't discard things or substitute things or phase them out. So if mnemonic development sounds like something that's a waste of time because you're going to outgrow it, you and I, like whoever I'm talking to, like the hypothetical person, you and I don't see eye to eye. All my skills are cumulative, or all of my skills are treated as though they're cumulative. Obviously, I'm human, so I can forget skills, and not all skills will constantly be there, being engaged. The idea is the act of keeping as many skills as you can with you for the rest of your life. Because problem solving and critical thinking does not benefit, in my opinion, they usually get glass ceilinged and rate limiting when you stop diversifying. That is not related to skills of specialization. So you can spend most of your time specializing something and still explore all the many ways you can solve your specialized problem. Solving a specialized problem requires that you diversify in your problem solving, right? If you can't solve a problem one way and you stick to that way, it won't solve itself. So that's how habit formation happens. When you have a bad habit, how do you switch it? Diversify. But it's not easy, in my opinion, for the people that I've met over my life. Like, the internet has made it amply clear that you stick to something and you're restricted to that. You stick to your own head and you get targeted all the things you want to know, but you never get exposed to things you don't want to know, or learn how to know, or develop a skill that you didn't think you need because you don't think you need it. Those are the different aspects that I do the opposite on. Whenever I think about a skill, when someone says, oh, this is a useless skill, that sounds like a challenge. Let's go and find out if we can make that skill useful. It's not that it will end up being useful. That's not the goal. The goal is, how can you make something useful when someone tells you it's useless? It's not the act of proving them wrong. It's engaging in the idea of trying to make something useful despite it not being useful. That task is very challenging. That the ingenuity that requires to try to reinvent the wheel for a sake of exercise is important to problem solving. It's not important for objective, efficient, target-based specialization, because it's a waste of time then. If you know that the thing you're investing in will always work and you never have to learn new things and you're never going to encounter problems, then you never have to do any of these exercises. What you would do is you would say, I've specialized in this. I'm going to pay someone else who can problem solve to solve those problems for me, because I don't have time to work on those problems. What does that sound like? That sounds like a CEO. Despite a lot of those people saying like, oh, you have to specialize and you have to do this, but I never have the mentality or the mindset to think like a CEO and treat people as compartmentalization things. It comes out in arguments. It comes out in debates. when you're talking to someone and you're like, oh, this is my thought, this is my only train of thought, and you should respect my only train of thought, that is company jargon, in my opinion. Like, that parallels individuals who compartmentalize. So compartmentalization leads to specialization as well. They don't solve problems though. They say what the problem is and they stick to their solution. Rarely do they entertain or converse or exchange ideas. They would say something is rotten and it stays rotten. As opposed to, if something is rotten, how can we make it less rotten? How can we improve upon what is undesirable? That is a different story because that's how I think about things. Not that it's bad or good, you don't have to be a problem solver, right? If something better comes along, you can go straight to that better thing. You don't have to make a crappy thing better because you want to, because you have to. I like the exploration of how to make something crappy into something better. It's a great exercise. Not for everyone else. So hobbies, that's why I like hobbies. If you have a crappy game, I would play that crappy game that everyone says is crappy, and I would have a blast figuring out why everyone else think it's crappy and what could you learn from playing a crappy game, for example. Those are hobbies. It's to exercise the mind. If you never play a crappy game, how do you know what game is crappy? If you never know how to make money or tons of money, or never answer 100,000 people, how do you know what the decisions are? What happens typically is it's someone projecting their values onto an activity or a situation in which they are avoiding because they believe they are not that person. They cannot be like other humans. For example, if you think it's really easy to negotiate like a huge company's tier system and expect that if you're suddenly become CEO and you can make a decision that redefines company things, I would like to see it. That's the whole goal. If you're a problem solver, you would tackle that answer and you would put your concepts and philosophy into play. You wouldn't sit by the sideline saying this is the only possible way to explain this stuff, because you're genuinely not curious about if your theories are correct, and they will be opinions and theories until you actually test them. And that's kind of how I feel in the internet generation. It's like, oh, someone read this and that's it. So like now that's their narrative. And I'm like, all right, so you know your narrative. It's so certain, it's so set in stone. Can you problem solve it, please? Because if you can problem solve it, I'm right behind you. Like, I will even support you. If you say that this is the problem, these are the correlations, not causation, but you manage to prove that they are causal in relationship, I would back you, because that means that you're going to change the world, right? Like, you're going to change something that you said was true. Otherwise, it stays as an opinion. And that's kind of the whole idea behind problem solving. Like, someone can tell me Duolingo sucks. I can explain the ups and downs of Duolingo. Two different things. Two different things, right? Someone can tell me Anki would be useful to me if I use it, and I would say I haven't used Anki, so I wouldn't know if it's useful or not. It doesn't matter what you think is going to happen. I didn't use Anki yet. You can project it and try to prove it to me by not telling me what's going to happen, by telling me what you did. Because then you're demonstrating that your problem solving skills and analytical skills to me. Telling someone something is basically, in my opinion, how the internet gets people to believe things without any problem solving skills or critical thinking at all. You can tell someone something enough times and it becomes fact, right? oh, you have to listen to a native speaker to be the only way to develop the association between sound and a character. That's not true. If it were true, then the only successful people would use only that method based on your conjecture, which is not true, right? At least I don't think it is. It's self-contradictory because then they would say something like, oh, well, yeah, okay, you have to splash in some of this and some of that, and this doesn't actually have anything to do with speaking, but okay, that's writing, you know, it's a lesser part. I'm like, what is a lesser part? It's part of the whole thing, right? Do you think that just parts of it qualifies your general fact that you're saying? Yeah, worth thinking about. I think I have a fairly compelling. This is going to become longer and longer. These like segments are going to get ballooned. Like, this is the third year. We're in the beginning of the third year. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the fourth year, fifth year, and sixth year. Like, I don't know how long this is going to go, but if it gets, it still isn't even close to the depth of my experience, in my opinion. Like, relatively speaking, I'm comparing myself to myself here. My past self, you know, I've been playing video games for over 30 years. Imagine being in my head, having 30 years of experience of something. This is barely 2 years of language learning, and I can't even imagine what it's going to be like if I continue doing this. How much I have to talk about and be interested in. And it barely even scratches the one thing that people covet so much, being fluent in a language. Like, I can't even begin to express what fluency means to me. And it's not like in a bubble or in a bottle of some arbitrary end condition. It's the whole thing. Like, what is a part of fluency that is missing in this picture? The genuine interest in acquiring the different properties of the language. You know, it's not solely linguistics. It's not solely clout chasing. It's not solely that native Japanese person you rely on for all your feedback. That's not it. It's problem solving and critical thinking to me, which involves pretty much every bump in the road that you'll encounter, even after you become fluent in Japanese. Like, think about emotional cultural problems when you're speaking Japanese. It's still part of the process. And it should be exciting, at least in my opinion. I don't think whenever I say some of these things, people are like, oh man, you sound so cringy. Like, who would ever want to worry about people's feelings and teaching Japanese in return, or trying to make something that is already crummy and bad for Japanese teaching and talk about why it's bad? What's the point of talking about how bad something is? Well, what's the point of talking about dangerous things? What's the point of talking about how to waste your time? I mean, the last time I checked, the internet's most popular topic is to watch videos of how not to do something so that you don't do it. I would argue that there is actually quite a substantial amount of time that is used, ironically, to do nothing. Like, the most popular type of format, I already mentioned this before, the most popular type of format is everything that you're trying to avoid. Not all the things you can do, most of the things you avoid. So you spend time figuring out all the things you can avoid in order to spend your time more wisely. That is something that I'm still working on, talking to people. They spend more time figuring out what not to do than actually doing something, actually solving problems, actually critically thinking, because they're worried that if they start the wrong way, they can't problem solve or critically think about it to help them out of the situation. So you spend, like, I would argue nowadays people might spend more time avoiding and planning for all the pitfalls. They spend more time with that than mastering the skills with that time. That's how much time they spend. They could possibly have like, quote unquote, reached their goal by starting and problem solving than thinking about all the things that they have to avoid. Like, oh yeah, if you start with this, your pitch accent's gonna be all out of whack, so you can't solve it. It's gonna be permanent, and your brain dead, so when your brain is like solidified, you can't possibly change it anymore because you never learned how to critically solve things, or critically think things, or habit formation is so strong that you can't possibly develop new habits or substitute habits. That's kind of the narrative here. Like, oh man, if I do this, I will be stuck for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, that sucks. I mean, the last time I checked, someone told me that if I start with Duolingo, I'll never become fluent in Japanese. I haven't become fluent in Japanese yet, so they're still right. Right? And they believe probably to this day that I'm still using Duolingo only and not learning any Japanese, and therefore I have not acquired any Japanese. That is the type of line of thinking we're talking about here. So, more on that next time. I genuinely believe that there's such a disinterest in Bunpro that it's a refreshing thought to think that, well, I'm not popular enough to gather or attract critics and whatnot that Duolingo did. That's exactly why Duolingo is a particularly special thing, right? Because there's a reason to show the ups and downs with Duolingo, but when I'm talking about Bunpro, where's your audience? Who you gonna try to help or explain things or demonstrate to things? So that's kind of my personal project, right? Wanikani was the same. Hanzahiro. Actually, Wanikani had a little bit more. Duolingo had a lot, right? It was the intended purpose I prepared. So yeah. And with that, I'll end with the sentiment. You are more than welcome, right, to follow along, pick up Bunpro for yourself, give it a try. You're welcome to come on by, drop your hot takes, your war stories. We can share sentiments and whatnot. I'm fairly candid and become even more candid when I can hear more about that person I'm talking to. Genuinely, it is interesting to see how people respond emotionally and constructively to each other over time. So until then, let's keep each other motivated. You're more than welcome. So until next time, minasan mata ne. Mite kurete arigato. Right. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get up, walk around, stretch a little bit, and I'll be back for my Hanzahiro session. Thank you.